So this is a deck where I came up with all by myself, so this would be a bit hard to understand. I will do an explanation video, but I guess you can play it. Anyway, let's begin with 2 times the Bystial Lubellion. Further, for the Bystial lineup, 1 Bystial Magnamut, 2 Bystial Druisworm, 1 Bystial Baldrake, and 1 Bystial Sarunia. For the Tearlaments lineup, we have 1 Tearlaments Rhinoheart, 1 Tearlaments Sharon, 1 Tearlaments Hafnis, of course they were all 1, and 1 Tearlaments Merely, they were 1, except Rhinoheart, okay, that's at 3. And 2 times Tearlaments Kashtira. Then of course, if you have them, you need these 4 little bastards. 1 Agido, 1 Kelbek, 1 Keldo, 1 Mudora. You have to run it, otherwise this makes no sense. In addition to the Tearlaments to make your fusions possible, 2 King of the Swamp. For the Chaos lineup, 1 Chaos Creator, 3 times Raiden, the Lightsworn, Hand of the Lightsworn, whatever. 2 times Luminar, 2 times Wolf, 2 times Felice, the probably best 2 Chaos monsters ever. White Dragon and the Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. And some additional monsters, they're just very useful. 2 times the new one, favorite witch of everyone, the Diabellstar. 2 times. 2 times the Diviner of the Herald. So basically for your Sunku summons, of course, but also to send Agido or Kelbek, or if you need them, Keldo and Mudora to the grave. So you can mill more cards and you have a level 6 tuner then. And the last card is 1 Destrudo. That's the lineup with the monsters. As I said, this is totally 100% made by myself, so this could be a little bit problematic to understand what the hell is even going on here. But I'm sure if you try it out, you will figure it out yourself pretty easily. It plays really well, and it's a fun deck, okay? It's not competitive, it can be pretty badass, but consider it as a fun deck as always. We continue with 2 times Wanted, the Seeker thing, quick spell for the Diabellstar. 1 Foolish Burial, yeah, I guess you know for what, for Guido or Kelbek mostly. Then 3 times Charge of the Light Brigade, very nice, because the send effect to the grave is a cost. So he can Ash this card, of course, with Ash Blossom, but only the effect to add a Lightsworn monster to your hand, not to mill 3 cards. And you just want to mill 3 cards, you don't care about the to add a level 4 or lower Lightsworn card to your hand. It is nice if it works, but you don't actually need it. Just to mill 3 for free. Free for free. 1 Polymerization, searchable via the King of the Swamp, and you get King of the Swamp instantly in the grave to allow your fusions via the Tearlaments. 1 the other Sinful Spoils quick spell, the Ritzlea, still don't know how to pronounce that correctly. Branded Regain, very good card, searchable or activatable, is this a word, via the Bystial Lubellion. 1, sadly, 1 Chaos Space, they limited that to 1, these little fuckers. And then had the great idea, yeah, let's reprint that in the Rarity Collection, because nobody is going to play it anyway. Anyway. Reasoning, 1 Reasoning, and to the traps, only 3 traps in this deck. 1 Tearlaments Salik, I guess is the English name, and 2 times the Sinful Spoils Silvera, the Negate Trap, easily searchable via the Diabellstar. That's it for these spells and traps, not much many spells and traps, as you can see, these are all monsters. These are only the spell and traps, you don't need that much spells and traps. For the extra deck, that's where the chaos begins. Of course. 1 Tearlaments Kaleidoheart, of course. 1 Tearlaments rule colors. All doable. Well, Kaleido Horde is easily madeable, and rule colors you have to make with King of the Swamp, of course. Then 1 Grapha Fusion, easily achievable via King of the Swamp and one of the Tearlaments monsters. 1 Guardian Chimera, that's why the single polymerization is in the deck. And 1 Garura, the Wings of Resident Life, also easy made via polymerization if you want, or with the Tearlaments monsters. 2 Synchros, 1 Chaos Angel, yes, of course, best one. 1 Bystial Disporter. 1 Psychic and Punisher. Then, of course, what a surprise, 1 Baron de Fleur. Best Synchro 10. One of the best Synchro 10. Then 1 Sword Soul Supreme Leader over King Cheng Jing Jing Zhang Zhong. This crazy thing, the stone excavator thing, whatever. Why that? I should say something about it. This is a negate for any spell and trap card if you have a water monster in your grave, and most of the time you have at least King of the Swamp in the grave, or Tearlaments Rhinoheart, or Tearlaments Kashtira. So you always can use that. It's a generic level 8. Synchro. Continue with C Framelord Omega. This is probably your most valuable card in here, because you can, with him, always recycle your banished Keldo and Modora, add it back into the graveyard and use it again. And in combination with Cheng Jing, these two are, as I said in a previous video, these two are Terrence Hill and Bud Spencer of Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, these two make your opponent suffer. Okay, 1 Synchro 7, well, that's personal preparation, of course. I like to play it. You can play whatever you want as a Synchro 7. 1 Michael, the Archlights one, to banish a card and to mill cards in the end phase. The last 2 are some Xyz monsters. 1 Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, and 1 Minerva. Also to mill cards, and this is basically Foolish Burial, to send a monster or even a card from your deck to the grave, which is almost at least a Tearlaments card, or Kelvik and Agido again. And you make Beatrice with 2 Bystials. Or, well, if you have no other choice, with a level 6 Diviner of the Herald and a Bystial. However you wanna go into that. That's for the Easter deck. Then some cards you could consider play, or I considered playing but didn't end up with, but somehow maybe some of you find that more appealing. Well, Destiny Plasma is badass, but not as badass as it was, because Chaos Space is now at 1. Destiny Hero Plasma is searchable via Chaos Space, because it's a dark level 8 monster. Sadly, with Chaos Space 1 is probably not that a good option, but maybe some of you can make use of it. So Destiny Plasma, it's only a skill drain for your opponent, so that's very strong. Chaos Nephthys, I found that very interesting. If that's in the grave and a card you control gets destroyed, you can special summon this from your grave or your hand by banishing 1 in light monster from your grave, and if it gets summoned, then you can banish 1 card your opponent controls and 2 cards in his graveyard. So you can banish 3 cards if this gets summoned. Then another classic fusion, the Predator Blends Draco Stabilia. Other options for the Tearlaments if you want to. 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp, if you want to, of course, only if you want to. Then Boston Despian Luluva Lilith. Could work. Played it a while, but Baron de Fleur was just way better in this deck. Chaos Archfiend, this is a pretty insane one. If your opponent have a lot of monsters, he can attack all monsters once, and he banishes all monsters he destroys in battle. And if a card gets banished, he gains 2000 ATK. So if he destroys a monster, he banishes that monster, he gains 2000 ATK and has 4/5, and he can attack all other monsters as well. 1 Golden Sky Beast Malong, our table tennis player again. How we're gonna get that out, I get to that in a minute. Another rank 6 Xyz monster, Wallow, founder of the Drudge Dragons, very powerful card, because you mill a lot of cards and he gets then a lot of ITK. Then probably gonna take out some other monster from the extra deck to do to put in the Time Thief Redoer because he's insane. And also the Tearlaments monsters activates if they get detached from him as material. Yes, they do. That's very strange, but they do. Then one Dog Charmer Gloomy. Instant fusion for your Mud Dragon. Or any other, you can 1000 dice strict if you want. Duality, 2 times duality, that's why Golden Sky Beast Malong. If you play duality, you should play Golden Sky Beast Malong in your extra deck. You cheat out Malong via each one of the level 6 Bystials because they are Dragon and Dog level 6. And if you play them, you could also consider playing some Synchro monsters that need a Synchro Tuner as material. Like all the crazy Stardust Dragon things or Red Dragon Archfiend things that are around. And you can level modulate him to level 7 or to level 5. So, and if he leaves the field, you can send 1 card on your opponent's side on the field back to his hand. Malong is very powerful, actually. Yeah, that's why duality, to cheat out Malong. You have no other... Yeah, you have one single option to summon Malong the normal way as a synchro summon via Merly and a level 4 tuner. But that's very unlucky. And the last 2 cards you could play... yeah, last 2 cards, it's 1 card, is Fiend Comedian. Yes. Played that before. It's hilarious if that goes off. It's just crazy. For those who are not familiar what Fiend Comedian does. Toss a coin and call it. If you call it right, all your opponent's cards in the graveyard are removed from play immediately. Well, that's already nice. If you call it wrong, send a number of cards equal to the cards in your opponent's graveyard from your deck to the graveyard. Well, that's also very nice because you don't even care. You know, you want to mill your cards. And in one occasion, my opponent had 19 cards in his graveyard, and I had 19 cards in my deck. And then you can still activate it, because if you have lower cards in your deck than your opponent has in his graveyard, you cannot activate this card actually, because it says you must send an equal amount. And if your opponent has 19 cards in the graveyard, but you have only 16 cards in your deck left, you cannot activate it. So that's a bit stupid. But anyway, I had exactly the same amount of cards in my deck than he had in his graveyard, and I just took my deck as it was and put it on the grave. Anyway, so Fiend Comedian, yeah, give it a try it out. It's definitely a hell lot of fun to play. It's a 50-50 chance. It's a mill deck, you know, it depends on what cards you mill. Of course, you can just play, if you want to play Tearlaments, play pure Tearlaments. That's way more consistent than this one, but this is way more fun and way more confusing for opponents, because nobody knows what's gonna happen here with that much different archetypes. And it works well. It's a 50-50 chance, but the boards you can possibly put up with this one is they are broken for sure. Anyway, that's enough. Talked way too much. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.